Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. As the day breaks in Port Charles, the tension is thick, and nowhere is it more intense than in Nina Reeves's corner. Her alibi, once her shield, is now crumbling under close investigation. Every piece of evidence that once lent her cover is being called into question. The walls are closing in, and the questions are mounting. Willow insisted Nina was with her walking in the rain around the time of Drew's shooting. That claim was meant to shield Willow, to quiet suspicion. But now that Alibi is hanging by a thread, investigators and loved ones alike are probing deeper. Can Nina truly account for where she was? As Anna Devane and Dante Falconeri push, the inconsistencies begin to emerge, one by one. The cops already have proof that Nina was somewhere else during the shooting window. The timeline she offered is unraveling. Small gaps, contradictory statements, and uncovered clues are combining to expose a lie. What first appeared as a protective lie now looks like a dangerous cover-up. Under pressure, Nina may be forced to explain the full truth, or risk losing everything. Meanwhile, across Port Charles, Rick Lansing remains captive. But while his body is held in chains, his mind wanders, and the dreams are vivid, relentless. In his unconscious world, he sees Elizabeth Baldwin, visions that stir hope, guilt, longing, confusion. The boundary between memory and fantasy blurs as his subconscious wrestles with what is lost, what was, and what might still be. These dreams are more than mere illusions. They hint at unresolved emotions, buried tensions, and connections he cannot, and perhaps should not, ignore. Every night, the same faces. Every night, the same questions. Nina's predicament and Rick's captivity may seem like separate story threads, but in Port Charles, nothing truly happens in isolation. The ripple effects spread outward, pulling allies, adversaries, and innocents into the vortex. Let's begin with Nina. Her alibi was always fragile, but she convinced those around her to take it at face value. For Willow, it was a lifeline. For Nina, possibly redemption, or at least protection. But now, the investigators have better tools, sharper focus. Statements are cross-checked, phone records revisited, witnesses re-interviewed. What was once plausible is now suspect. As the pressure mounts, Nina's composure cracks. The strain of hiding the inconsistencies, the fear of getting caught, the emotional turmoil of being seen as a liar, all of it weighs on her heavily. She may try to amend her story or find a new defense. But every adjustment opens another door for doubt. Willow, too, feels caught in the crossfire. She trusted the story she was given. She believed in Nina's love and her protection. But as cracks appear, doubts creep in. Was she deceived? Was she being used? Willow must wrestle with loyalty and reality, and perhaps confront the painful possibility that Michael, whom she now doubts more than ever, might not be the villain she once believed him to be. Michael, of course, sees shadows where others see light. Willow's shifting trust only fans the flames of suspicion. He walks a tightrope, trying to prove himself, to point away from himself, to stay in the ambiguous gray zone where he can't be pinned, but also where he becomes more suspect than ever. Back to Rick, bound and isolated. His captors, Ava and Christina, with Alexis involved in the mix. He lies awake at night, unable to silence the voices of his past. In dreams, Elizabeth appears, not as enemy, not quite as lover, but as memory and desire. He chases her in mazes of regret and longing. He wakes with heart pounding, torn between hope and despair. Within his dream state, he confronts the idealized version of what might have been. He remembers the warmth, the trust, the shared history, and wonders if he threw it away. In waking moments, those dreams haunt him. They erode his resolve, cloud his judgment. Are these visions just escapism, or do they hold truths he's refusing to face? A dangerous question nags. Could these dreams influence his decisions if he's freed? Could Elizabeth's presence, real or imagined, drive him toward reckless acts or blind faith? Could his captors use that vulnerability? The more vivid the dreams, the more fragile his mental boundaries become. Meanwhile, in Port Charles, power is shifting. Jen Sidwell, long a looming force, re-enters the fray, flexing muscles, stirring fear, making it clear he intends to reclaim control. His return amplifies the danger around Nina, Willow, and even Rick's fate. When a criminal kingpin stirs the pot, nobody is safe from collateral damage. In parallel, Ava and Christina, while holding Rick captive, wrestle with their own conscience. They must decide whether they can turn a leaf after their betrayal, act in some modicum of redemption, or merely continue manipulating to save themselves. Their tangled loyalties and ambitions complicate Rick's situation enormously. Any alliance, any moment of sympathy, could shift the balance. Nina's unraveling alibi invites new attacks. Anna might confront her with evidence, footage, timestamps, discrepancies in witness accounts. Dante might push her verbally, corner her in hidden rooms, force her to choose between confession or escalation. Nina will feel the walls close in. Every word she utters could be trapped, used against her. The critics of her lie are not forgiving. Some have believed her from the start, others lost faith. Public opinion in Port Charles may turn sharply against her. Willow, her daughter, may be confronted with harsh truths. The maternal bond may be strained or broken. Meanwhile, Rick's captivity keeps a dark patience. He may sense hints of rescue efforts. Ava or Christina struggling to juggle guilt and danger, Alexis torn between helping and protecting her standing. He might attempt mental strategies, planning, steeling himself, counting days. But every dream of Elizabeth may slip a dagger into his determination. When he dreams of her, does he remember the past as it was or as he wished it to be? Does he remember hurt, betrayal, forgiveness? Does the fantasy push him toward reconciliation, or toward carrying old wounds into the present fight? One night, in a particularly vivid nightmare, Elizabeth might confront him, asking him why he left, why he betrayed, why he doubts. She may accuse him. She may plead. The emotional weight could undo him. Rick might wake gasping, heart racing, the lines between dream and guilt so tangled he cannot separate them. As her lies unravel, she may consider public confession. But that opens more wounds. It risks legal consequences. It risks alienating Willow. It risks exposing deeper secrets. Could she salvage something by admitting partial truths? Or will her desperation drive her to further deception, deeper lies? At some point, she may confront those evidentiary cracks head-on, perhaps offering an alternate story, a new explanation. But each shift invites more scrutiny. The stakes escalate. If she lies again, the penalty is harsher. If she tells everything, she may destroy what little trust remains. For Willow, disillusionment looms. Her faith in Nina is tested. Her trust in Michael is being challenged by both her own doubts and external pressure. She might demand proof. She might become an unexpected ally to investigators. She might distance herself emotionally, even physically. Michael must play defensively. He might reach out to insiders, gather his own evidence, preemptively address accusations. But each move he makes could be misinterpreted as guilt or manipulation. He's trapped between proving innocence and avoiding seeming defensive. Rick's dreams, in turn, may serve as a narrative bridge, tying his emotional arc to Nina's unraveling. What if Elizabeth's vision in his mind reveals a truth Nina feared, something in their past that connects to the shooting? What if Rick, half awake, pieces together connections that others overlooked? His subconscious may unearth clues that the conscious investigators miss. And when the time comes for rescue, if Ava and Christina team up, if external help arrives, if Rick manages to escape mentally before physically, the emotional cost will be high. He may walk free but fractured. He may return to Port Charles changed, haunted by dreams and burdened by what he's learned while in captivity. Nina's exposure and Rick's dreams are locked in a dance. The more Nina loses cover, the more danger she is in. The more Rick dreams, the more vulnerable he becomes. At some moment, their paths will cross again. When Rick returns, when Nina faces judgment, when Willow must choose sides, when Michael faces the ultimate test. In that collision, alliances will shift, secrets will fall, loyalties will be tested. Some relationships will end. Some may begin anew. For Nina and Rick both, redemption is possible, but it will cost. As you listen to this, remember, in soap opera worlds, Lies multiply, dreams linger, and no secret stays buried forever. October 14th will mark a turning point. Nina's alibi will collapse, forcing decisions she may not be ready to make. Rick's dreams will stir trouble, pushing him toward emotional revelations he never anticipated. The fallout will ripple through Port Charles, rewriting trust, exposing betrayal, and refusing any escape from the truth. So watch closely. Because when deception collapses, when dreams bleed into reality, Port Charles will never look the same again. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for all of your updates.